Hey guys, Mike here from Lunch Money Comics with another CGC submission and unboxing video. Now, I recently did a video where I sent in 2 unlimited value books for grading by CGC. I'll link to that right here. I have no idea how those books graded because they're still in front of me raw. See, I'm sending in several different tiers at the same time, and I expect to get them back at different times. So I'm going to do different videos for them. So I have no idea how those graded out. You guys have already seen that video, so hopefully I did pretty good. But the books I'm going to show you today are all pre-75 books. So books that are from the Silver Age and the Bronze Age. And all of these books I found in strange and unusual places, and also have my good friend Jeff from Comic Spa work on them. I mention Jeff all the time. He's one of the best cleaners and pressers in the whole country. He does absolutely magician's work. And yeah, so what I hope to do is show you guys these books. I'll show you some pictures if I have them that Jeff took when I first gave it to him, showing all the defects that were in the books. And then I'll show you the book now and see how much better it is. And then what I hope to do is fast forward in the video 30 days. Again, for me, it'll be 30 days. For you guys, it's going to be mere moments, and we'll do the big grand reveal and unboxing. And I'll try to stay completely spoiler free so that you guys will see the grades at the same time that I do. So without further ado, let's talk about the first book. It's this. This is DC Showcase number 60. I think it's from 1966. And this is the first Silver Age appearance of the Spectre, a character I like very much. I could never afford his first Golden Age appearance, but this is a great second option if you're on a budget. Now, I always talk about the fact I don't love slab books. I think it's okay if they have higher value. But this book here I'm sending in mostly because it already was slab. So I actually got this in an antique store, although it was from a comic dealer who sets up there. And you see, originally it was a CBCS 7.5. And when I saw this book, guys, I looked at it in the slab and I said, man, that looks better than a 7.5. I was able to contact the owner and get it for a really great price. I got it for $150, which I think is pretty good. And then I showed it to Jeff, and Jeff looked at it in the slab. He's like, oh yeah, that has to be higher than that. I've heard anecdotal comments that, CBCS grades harsher than CGC. Still, guys, looking at it as is, it looked more like an 8. There was some manufacturing creases on the back cover that I think maybe was, hurting that grade. Whatever it was, Jeff took it, he cracked it open and took some pictures. So I'm gonna show you guys some pictures right now of what Jeff saw when he first got it. There was a little bit of color over the top. It's still there now, obviously, but it's not that big of a deal. The biggest thing were there were a few creases along the top edge. There was a dog ear crease in the corner with a very, very thin color break. You can barely see it. They were blunting on the corners, a few color breaking ticks on the spine. The back cover had a very few small creases. It did have a printer crease, like I mentioned, which really shouldn't affect the grade too much. Came out of the printer like that, and there's nothing that Jeff could do about it. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's the extent of the issues with it. I saw some creases and some very minor ticks on it that I thought Jeff could remove, and boy, did he. He used not only his press, but also his little tack iron to get rid of all the little indentations on the spine. And also he buffed the book with his famous wool sock, which makes that luster come out. And this book looks fantastic. Another service that he does is he provides those pictures, the after pictures, to the CGC forums and the Buddy Can You Spare a Grade thread where people give their opinion on what it is. And this one, the opinions were 7.5 all the way up to like an 8.5. So I think it's an 8. I'm going to be optimistic and hope for an 8. I just hope it grades, a 7.5 or higher, because I'd rather it be in the CGC slab. I think we all know they have a little bit higher premium than CBCS. But that's the plan, guys. I'm hoping this one comes back as an 8. Next up, we have an interesting book. This one is another DC. This is Swamp Thing number 1 from 1972. Awesome Bernie Wrightson cover written by Len Wein. And of course, this is the first appearance of the Alec Holland Swamp Thing, who I like very, very much. The interesting story with this book is Jeff actually got this book from my local comic book store, His and Her Comics in Greenfield, Massachusetts. And it came out of a collection that was pretty old and musty and beat up and stained. So Jeff bought this book from that store, and this one went through the works. He actually took the cover off and put it through an aqueous bath, which is crazy. But it took out all of the staining, guys. And after the press and the buffing, this looks like an entirely different book. I don't have before pictures. You guys just have to take my word for it. I cannot believe it's the same book. It is bright. It is lustrous. The colors pop. And yeah, in our opinion, it's at least a 7.5. We're hoping for a 7.5. Again, on a great day, if we get really lucky, maybe an 8.0. I'm happy with a 7.5. The reason I have this and not Jeff is because I wanted this book so bad, he actually sold it to me. So thank you so much, Jeff. We get to put your work to the test and see what this comes back as. So there you go, guys. Pretty cool. So next up is a book that I actually traded some books I got at flea markets and yard sales and other strange and unusual places, and also some cash to get. And I got it once again from my favorite local comic book store, His and Her Comics. I think I can put the link to that video up here. Yeah, I traded mostly things I got at flea markets plus some cash and ended up getting this book at far less than I think it was worth. And here it is. This, of course, is the Fantastic Four number 52, and this is the first appearance of T'Challa, aka Black Panther, a character I like very much. Now, I couldn't find the before pictures because Jeff worked on this a long time ago. You guys can see some obvious things that are still there. There are lots of color breaks on it. It is a dark cover. They show those color breaks pretty obviously on the spine. A couple over here as well. But the biggest thing that we noticed on it was that there was something kind of splashed on it. There were little like black flecks of some sort of foreign substance on the cover, which you could see on the moon because it's so much lighter. So Jeff did his typical dry cleaning. He was able to remove all of those spots. The pressing did such a great job. Again, the color breaks are still there, but it's definitely flatter. The creases are gone, and it presents just wonderfully. So this one here, I think when I got it, I thought it was like a 4.0. And the CGC forums, you see the little sticky note here I have. They all thought it was a 4 to a 5. Jeff thinks it's also a 4. That's where I'm at, guys. I'm just encapsulating this one because it's sort of a legacy book for me. I love this character. I want to hold on to this book for a long time. I'm fine with it being a 4. I'm just hoping it's not any lower, and I don't think it's going to be. So there you go, guys. First appearance of Black Panther. Let's see what that comes back at. So the last book is another book that I found in a strange and unusual place. I mentioned in my previous unboxing video that I had gotten my Hulk 181 from a neighbor's collection. I was helping him inventory and sell that collection, but there were a couple books that I couldn't live without. I got the Hulk 181, I got a First Silver Surfer, and I also found this book here. So this is The Amazing Spider-Man number 50. This is known for several very notable reasons. It's the first appearance of Kingpin, sure, but it's mostly known as the amazing storyline of Spider-Man No More in this absolutely awesome cover by John Romita. This is my favorite Amazing Spider-Man book I think ever made, so I had to pick this up from my neighbor when I found it. But it has some pretty serious condition issues. One, it was very dirty. It was stored in an old cedar chest. I literally was wiping off dirt off this cover. I know some people frown upon that, but you got to clean the dirt off, guys. And the reds on this cover really came out after that. And that was before I gave it to Jeff. So this is one of those rare books, guys, where I actually got to see Jeff work on the book in person. I actually got to watch him dry clean it and buff it before he actually pressed it. So that was pretty cool. But let's talk about the condition issues really quick. When Jeff first got it, there were lots of, color breaks on it. You guys can see at the top of the book, there's actually a tear in the upper right corner. The piece is still there. It hasn't ripped off, but there was a pretty good tear. There's also a chip in the top left corner of the book. The spine has lots of issues. There are several color-breaking ticks. There's actually a very small tear that goes all the way through the spine to the back. In general, guys, this book is pretty beat up. When I got this, I knew it was low grade. I thought it was probably a 3.0. After Jeff's clean and press, though, yeah, I mean, the colors are brighter. That gloss is back. It's flat as a pancake. There's no, creases anymore. But, of course, the color breaks in the chips and the tears you can't do anything about. So those are still evident. And because of that, I still think this is a 3.0. Maybe if I'm really lucky, a 3.5. I'm not holding my breath. Once again, I'm grading this book because it's a legacy book that I want to hold on to for a long time. I'm okay encapsulating it just to keep it in the collection, preserved, and maybe pass it down to my kids one day. So that's it, guys. If everything goes well, I should get these books back in about 30 days. That's the working time for non-fast-tracked pre-75 books. And yeah, when I get them back, I'm going to do an unboxing, which for me will be about 30 days from now, but for you, only a few minutes. So wish me luck, and I'll see you guys back here in a second. Okay, guys, it's been exactly 30 days, 1 month to the day since I sent my comic books to CGC. The shelf behind me has changed. I definitely lost some facial hair, but more importantly, this just arrived on my doorstep, and I cannot wait to see what is in here. So as I open this up, guys, if you like this sort of stuff and you want to support the channel, head on down, hit the like button, leave me a comment, feel free to subscribe, and you can follow me on Instagram under Lunch Money Comics IG. And while you're down there, let me know down in the comments what you think of unboxing videos, because in my last unboxing, some people pointed out some really interesting things. They said they liked the fact that I didn't just do an unboxing, that I sort of tell the history of the comic books, where I got them, what I paid for them, what was done to them. And I'm happy they noticed that, because the truth is, guys, I don't really like unboxing videos myself. I feel like if they're not your comics, you don't really have like a vested interest in how they turn out. So I like to provide that context. Like, where did I get the comic books? What strange and unusual places? What was done to fix them and make them better? The whole process, I think, just makes it more interesting, personally. And I'll never do an unboxing video unless I do something like this. So let me know down in the comments if you kind of like this. I'd love to hear from all of you. All right, so I am completely in the dark as to what these turned out to be. I have not looked up the grades on CGC. I took all of my willpower, guys. So I'm gonna be very careful not to look at these, and I gotta figure out what the top is. All right, which one is it? Okay, this is actually a perfect one to start with because I actually remembered something about this book that I left out of the first part of the video. See, this was fixed up by a comic spot a long time ago, and the reason why I never had it graded before was because I remembered in the back of my mind there was something wrong. There was a reason why we didn't think we should send it in. I completely forgot. I put it in the submission at the very end, and then as I was packaging up the comic book, I remembered there's some rust on the bottom staple. Yeah, and rust on staples, guys, I've heard horror stories where it could completely torpedo the grade of the book, regardless on whether, the rust really bleeds through the pages. So that was why I actually didn't want to send it in. I mentioned the spots that were on it. Comic Spa wanted to take the cover off, do an aqueous bath to really clean it, but we couldn't take the staple off because it was rusty and it might break. It was brittle. So because of that, guys, let's see. We thought it was a 4.0. The CGC forum said 4 to a 5. Jeff thought it was a 4, but again, that was forgetting it had the rusty staple. I was hoping for a 4, maybe a 4.5, but now I'm really nervous on this one that it's actually like a 3.5. So I'm fingers crossed it's a 4, but I'm preparing myself that this might be much lower. All right, what is it going to be? Oh my goodness. Okay, I was way off. It's a 5.0. Yeah, either that rust on that staple, I guess it's not that bad. Either it's not that cause of a concern for CGC or they didn't see it. But there it is, guys. Fantastic 452, first appearance of the Black Panther. Maybe my lucky Black Panther shirt got that grade up to a 5. That is actually amazing. So that is a really good start. I have 3 more books to disappoint me, I suppose. So that is awesome, actually. That is really cool. 5.0, I really didn't expect that at all. Okay, cool. What is next? Let's try not to look here. Oh, that's an invoice. All right, here we go. This one is, okay. We have Amazing Spider-Man number 50. It does look nice in the slot here. Let me take it out without looking at the grade. Yes, okay. ASM 50, guys. First appearance of the Kingpin. It says it up there. Origin of Spider-Man retold. Awesome. Stan Lee story, John Romita cover. Okay, so this one here, let's see. We thought it was going to be a 3. Jeff thought it could be a 4 at its best. I'm going to be a little pessimistic on this one, and this one is a 4.0. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, actually, I was kind of really expecting a 3. So a 4.0 is amazing. Hey, guys, I've heard this before, that Amazing Spider-Man, especially Silver Age, get kind of like a bump. Let me know if you guys think that's true. I think it's like anecdotal evidence. I don't think there's much truth to it. But yeah, 4.0, that's actually pretty amazing too. When I got this, I thought it was like a 2.5. Jeff fixed it up, thought it was in the 3s. I will be very happy and satisfied with a 4.0. You know what's funny though? My Hulk 181 ended up being a 4.5. It's shocking to me that there's only a half grade difference. This is light years worse than that book over there. So maybe there is some truth to the Amazing Spider-Man bump. All right. Next up, we have Swamp Thing number 1. So this book, so it's a universal label for those of you who are always concerned about things like aqueous baths. I've mentioned this before. Jeff only uses distilled water on any of his cleaning. He doesn't use any chemicals or anything. He's always taking, things away from the book that shouldn't be there, not adding anything. So if any of you doubt the whole process of an aqueous bath, it's a blue label. So there you go. This book is one I had sort of the highest hopes for. I wish I had pictures, guys, from before. This thing was so stained and so water damaged. It was all like wavy and rippled. It looks like a completely different book. Let me take it out of the bag. I really wish I had a before picture for this one for you guys. But yeah, it looks gorgeous. I think this is an 8. I still think it's an 8. And it is okay, it's a 7.5, which I guess I can't be that disappointed. It looks really good for a 7.5 though, honestly, guys. So yeah, I mean, I can't be disappointed. This was probably a 4 before Jeff worked on it. So you can see how much work he actually did to get this up there. Man, look at the back. It's gorgeous. So yeah, 7.5, can't be upset about that. That is a pretty cool bump. All right, last and certainly not least is going to be the Showcase 60. Not looking, taken out of the bag. Yes, okay. Here we go. Showcase number 60, first Silver Age appearance of the Spectre. Looks awesome in the slab here. You can see a couple of the defects I mentioned before. There's a couple ticks on it that are color breaking. There's this little bit of a color rub. So as a reminder, this was a 7.5 CBCS label, and we thought there was some room for improvement. So let's see what Jeff got for a bump. It was an 8.0. Okay. I was half expecting another 7.5, guys. It would have been actually really funny to see if they ended up being exactly the same. I guess that would lead a little bit of evidence towards CBCS being a little harsher on their grading. But yeah, I mean, we thought it could be improved, and Jeff improved it exactly one grade, right? 7.5 to an 8.0. And actually, I'm really ecstatic about that, guys. This is a book from 1966. To be an 8.0 is pretty awesome, actually. So, yeah, very, very cool right there. So there you go, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think of all of these. Let me know what you think of unboxing videos. Let me know what you think of the work that Comic Spa does. Whoops, I just moved the whole camera, didn't I? So yeah, a huge thank you to Jeff from Comic Spa for all the work he did on these books. Clearly, guys, he gave them a very sizable bump. I've said it before, I'll say it a million times again, Jeff is one of the best, if not the best, comic cleaners and pressers in the whole country, in my opinion. I always put a link down in my description to his email. Definitely hit him up if you have some books you're interested in having worked on. I think he has a very long wait list right now, but trust me, guys, he is worth it. Head on down in the comments, let me know what you think of all of these. Let me know if you want to see more unboxings like this from me in the future. I'm definitely not going to make a habit out of it, but I'd love to hear your feedback. Let me know which of these comics you like the best as well. Keep hunting for comic books, guys, in strange and unusual places, because you can find them in low grade. And if you know somebody who can fix them up, you can definitely get some pretty awesome results. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.